We welcome you to Saddleback College, where today we go inside Saddleback College Gaucho football with head coach Mark McElroy and 3 exceptional athletes with unique stories to tell. The Gauchos have a long and successful tradition, and this year, the Gauchos once again are playing exciting football. This is Coach's Corner. I'm Paul Higgins, and all the action starts right now. Hello everybody, I'm Paul Higgins and welcome to this week's edition of Coach's Corner. As you can tell, we do have a fantastic show. It's a quiet evening on location at Saddleback College, but each and every Saturday night when they do play here, this place is lively. And you will see why. Saddleback Gaucho football is one of the best games in town. One reason why is their head coach in his 16th year is Coach Mark McElroy. And tonight, as we told you in the open of the show, we are joined by 3 fantastic players. 3 players with their own individual stories. And we start off right now with Coach Mark McElroy. And Mark, I was telling your players that I've known you for a long time, and then I looked down and you said you've been here 16 years. Where does time go, right?
Time flies. I just feel like I just started coaching and now I'm down on the tail end of my coaching career.
You can't say that. You got another 25 years ahead of you, right?
Amos Alonso's dad coached till he was 97,
That's right.
But I'm not sure if I'll go till I'm 97.
Yeah. Well, you brought some great players tonight, and you picked them for specific reasons. The first one joining us is Kyle Kelly, a defensive end. If you're watching the highlights, he's number 93, and a full ride out of Woodbridge High School to the University of Arizona, finds his way right here in transition at Saddleback College. And Kyle, welcome to Coach's Corner. Did you know you were going to be on the show at the beginning of the week?
Nope, I had no idea.
So this is all nice and new.
Yeah, it's nice.
So tell me your experience so far. First semester here at Saddleback College, and I know you got to be enjoying football. It's a very competitive atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's been great so far. I've had a good time and got to play some good football games so far.
Now, how did you come to the way of Saddleback? You could have selected a number of junior colleges, and I always say that community college is one of the best ways to go no matter whatever you're doing. How did you decide on Saddleback?
It's nice and local. I'm from Southern Orange County, and it's a great football program. Good history here, and I know there's good coaches here, so I thought it'd be the great place to go. Yeah,
and Coach, he's in a transition right now, but you know, you'll have him just a little bit, and that's a challenge, as we've talked about with community college football. You only get to see these guys a short time. How difficult is that?
Well, many times, you know, like you said, you only get like 1 semester or 1 year with them. So our goal here at Saddleback College is to, whatever it's 1 year or 3 years, to help these young men to get an academic position so that they can transfer. Right. Good football is great, but if they're not a good football player and a good student now, it's difficult to transfer. And especially someone like Kyle, he's in a situation where he bounced back from a Division I school, and now we want to be able to get him back to another Division I school, and he has to meet the 4.24 academic requirements of the NCAA.
It's amazing because when we were setting up for the show tonight, you were on the phone, and I could hear you just right over here, and you were selling the program. You were selling these kids. Your job now is to get these guys here, to have them play some great football, and then get them to the next level. Can you tell me about that?
Well, that's really what my job is to recruit good players, do the best at coaching them at whatever position they're at, and then of course help them get in a position to transfer. We've got some exciting things going on here at Saddleback. We've got the LRC program, which is a free tutoring program. Okay. That's been going this past year, that's really helping our students perform better academically. So again, our goal is to help them transfer and then carry on the relationship with these guys for years to come.
Yeah, and the last time we talked, I briefly mentioned it, but Howie Long's son was here, and of course he's in the NFL now, and he says one of the reasons why is because of Saddleback College, his time here. And Kyle, I know that football is super competitive in high school in this area, and then when you move to college, it gets even more competitive. What has been the biggest difference? And Coach and I have talked about this over the years. Is it the speed of the game? Does it really speed up, and how? If it does, how so?
Yeah, the size and speed is different than high school. It shocks you a little when you come out of high school to college, and you know, you just learn to adapt to it, and once you adapt, you know, you can play just as well as you were in high school, but it's a transition you have to go through.
When you were at Woodbridge High School, what do you look back on with fond memories? I know that Coach Gibson does a great job there, and he's been there a long time. But when you look back on your high school, which is just a short time ago, what do you remember the most about those days of playing football there?
The tradition at the high school. I remember every single game we walk out with the band in front of us playing our like traditional drum song, and that just pumps everyone up. And those rival high school games that there's nothing like it. It's just the best games. Really great memories there. In
your mind, who is your biggest rival, of course, in that Irvine area?
Irvine High School.
Irvine High School. Yeah. Still to this day, it's been that great rival.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you recommend to those kids there now, that if you had a chance to go back to talk to some of them during practice and Coach had you back, what would you say to those kids as advice?
I would say just play your hardest every single game, because it goes by real fast. You know, I think high school football is the best time to play football. It's the funnest, and I would just say enjoy the moment, and you know, it's a good time. That's
great advice. And Coach, I know when they get to the college level, like you and I were just talking about with San Clemente High School, you had that little area down there, and that's a big area now, right? And it was an amazing atmosphere. When they go to college, a little bit of that atmosphere changes depending on where they're at. How do you, I mean, the coddling and all that, it's over with now when they get here, right? I mean, they become men.
Well, it's a transition from being a young man to a man, and a lot of times guys are looking, they're living in the past, but they're looking to the future where they want to get to, and I keep talking to them about being in the present and loving where they're at. And if it's at Saddleback College, enjoy the competition that they get here, enjoy the school, enjoy the friendships, because you know, before you know it, you'll be at the next level. And you've got to live in the present.
Yeah, and before I let you go, Kyle, you're saying right now that you're looking at business as maybe a major that you go to. Yeah. You know, if you were to project, as Coach just mentioned it, 5 years from now, where do you think you'll be? What do you think you'll be doing?
It's hard for me to say. You know, I want to either work for a great company or start a good company for myself. Yeah. That's what I have in mind, you know. We'll see how the future goes.
Well, I'm sure you'll get there. Coach says you're mature beyond your years. That says more than what I was when I was 19 years old or so. That's Saddleback College, as you probably know. When we come back, we have a different story. Blake Bernard will join us. He's also a defensive end, but he comes to Saddleback from Frontier High School in Bakersfield, California. He has his own story. More of Saddleback College football from Saddleback College right after this. Mission Basilica School is a Catholic parochial school with single-grade classrooms from pre-kindergarten through 8th grade.
We have absolutely the best to offer in education. We don't just educate the child academically. They are nurtured spiritually. They are guided through their spiritual journey. They are loved, every being of them.
A blue ribbon school for academic excellence, located on the beautiful grounds of Mission San Juan Capistrano, Mission Basilica School. At Olson Orthodontics in San Juan Capistrano, they want to see you smile, and it starts from the first visit.
On my very first appointment, before I left, I knew exactly what I was getting, how much it was going to be. They were incredibly friendly, so it just made sense. It was completely at home here.
Dr. Olson does an excellent job of making his patients feel comfortable.
Well, I was just really enjoying coming here and seeing him. I loved to see Dr. Olson.
Call or visit Olson Orthodontics today. Hello everybody, welcome back to Coach's Corner on location at Saddleback College. Really thrilled to be here at Saddleback College. It was back where I started my college career. Best thing I ever did. And I had the opportunity to go to high school for a year with Coach Mark McElroy down at San Clemente. And now he joins us again, of course, with Coach's Corner. And Blake Bernard, a defensive end. We told you we have 3 different stories. He's number 30 out of Bakersfield, a Frontier High School, a sophomore. So this will be his final season as a Saddleback Gaucho. And Coach, what do you like about Blake? Again, a different story. Came from out of our area, now playing here. And of course, he'll be playing somewhere else next year.
Well, Blake is a hard worker. He's got a great work ethic. He's positive attitude. He was selected as one of the team captains on the team here, and you know, he just brings more to the team than just a defensive end. He plays on the offense for us as well as a fullback. He's just a special football player, and more importantly, he's a special human being.
Yeah, and Blake, how did you end up here? I think Coach was shouting to you a little while. Hey, how'd you end up here? Did you say Steve Crapo, or no, was that you, or how did you end up here?
Yeah, Coach Crapo, I reached out to him I was looking at a few different junior colleges at the time, and I was really drawn to the tradition of excellence here at Saddleback College, a winning tradition, and above all else, these coaches want to develop our character as well as our athletic ability, and I was really attracted to that.
Were you a captain in high school?
I was.
Okay, so it's no surprise that he's a captain here. There's been some great captains on this football field for Saddleback College. What would you recommend to kids out there that think, hey, I'm a star at my high school, I'm going to go Division I. There's a little bit of reality check with some of these guys. Community college is a great route. Can you be a cheerleader for that, so to speak?
Oh yeah, I would tell them stay humble.
Yeah, stay
Honestly,
humble.
that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, Coach, how do you, that's a great point, stay humble. How do you, when you get athletes here and they see other great athletes here, how do you get them humble?
Well, it's pretty easy, this guy's looking around and seeing who's better and who's not better, and that can humble you real quick. But I think what he's really talking about, staying humble, is a lot of kids out of high school think, hey, I don't want to go to a community college, I don't want to stoop to the community college level. And they don't really understand that it's a great stepping stone to be able to have an opportunity to move on to the four-year level. I mean, the goal is to get your degree, and your degree will say, such and such from UC Irvine or UCLA. It doesn't say UCLA via Saddleback College.
That's right. And sometimes, it's a great thing to have that, though. I'm proud of that, that I was able to come here and do that. Actually, you weren't there, I don't think you were there, but I was asked to do the commencement speech. And when I told him, they said, you were asked to do the commencement? Yeah, what's wrong with that? but I'm a big cheerleader for this school and what they do. And your thoughts about being in between these lines with some awesome athletes. What is the big difference? I asked Kyle about it. Is it the speed of the game? Is it the physicality? Is it the complexity of the plays that coach might have both on offense and defense? Can you shed some light on that?
It's definitely the speed of the game. Fast is faster every level you go up.
Yeah. No. And bigger guys too. Can you tell, big guys that can run fast? That's pretty wild, isn't it?
You're right. It's a combination of the two.
Yeah. Now, how did you pick your number 30? Or did you pick that?
I did. I knew I'd be playing a little bit of fullback this year, and just the stars aligned. I was blessed enough to have that opportunity. But also, my favorite player this last year in college football was D Ford, a defensive end for Auburn. Okay. And we're just a lot alike, our measurements and what we're able to do. And so he's a guy I really look after.
Yeah. And Coach, you do this tirelessly. I don't think people realize how much work you put into coaching football. And it's exhausting sometimes. How do you maintain your sanity on out there trying to get these guys to the next level, plus winning football games and teaching as well? Because the bottom line, you're a teacher.
No doubt. I love teaching. I love teaching not only about life, but the game of football. It's kind of intertwined. And I know my players will agree with that. But you got to have passion for what you do, because you're right. I mean, when you spend 90 to 100 hours a week doing something.
Did you say what?
90 to 100 hours.
90 to, and you think you got a full-time job at 40?
Yeah. The point is that you got to have a passion about it, and you got to have a passion for people, because really you're involved in these young men's lives at a huge time in their life when they're trying to make transitions and big decisions for their life. Yeah. So you got to absolutely love what you're doing.
Right. Thursday nights underneath the lights here at Saddleback College, you practice. That's been a tradition here. Mm-hmm. Tell me about that time. I was trying to get you to do the show on that night. You said, Paul, I got practice. How can I do the show? I got practice. So, but it is a special time. Can the community come and watch what you guys do as well?
Sure, they could come watch any of the practices, but Thursday night's a special night, and I know Blake would probably agree with that. We kind of, what do you think, Blake, about our Thursday night practices? Do you like those practices?
We bring it, man.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, on both sides of the ball.
Okay, I didn't. I thought maybe it's a basic mellow practice.
Oh, no, it's lively.
It's lively, okay.
Very
we
lively.
Definitely come out for that. That's pretty amazing. So with conference football, I got to mention, I said you need a degree just to talk about this, but it's the National Division, the Southern League, and there's some other initials in there. The league changes. I would say this is one of the most competitive leagues in all of California. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's 37 teams in Southern California. It falls under what's called the SCFA. Then there's the National Division, which are the top 21 teams. Okay. The American Division are the lower 16 teams. So there are 3 leagues of 7, and we're in the National Division, Southern League, and that's where all the big boys play, and it gets very competitive, no doubt about it.
This is definitely, Blake, getting you ready for the next level. Tell me about your thoughts on maybe where you want to go, and when you get there, do you think your position will change from a defensive end to a linebacker, a cornerback, a tight end? Tell me about that, and are you flexible?
Very flexible. This gets overplayed a lot, I feel like, but I'm really down for whatever the team needs me to do. And yeah, right now I'm kind of a tweener at the defensive end position. I'm not quite tall enough to play that at the higher level, so I'm very flexible to getting recruited as a fullback or moving to linebacker. You know, God gave me some athletic ability, and as long as I keep honoring Him with that, you know, down for whatever.
And I asked you about baseball. You're not a baseball fan.
Too slow for me.
Too slow.
Yeah.
What other sport do you enjoy?
I did a little bit of wrestling in high school.
I could see that,
and swimming, believe it or not.
Okay. Oh, that's
before
good.
I gained a little bit of girth, but
yeah, well, that's all right. That's all right. You've done a great job here at Saddleback for Coach Mark McElroy. I wish you the best on wherever you go. I think for sure it might not be back to Bakersfield. All right, so Blake Bernard, number 30, defensive end. Make sure you track his success, not only here at Saddleback, but his future as a football player. When we come back, another story. Ricky Batista will join us, a quarterback out of Northwood High School. He's next, right here on Coach's Corner. At Olson Orthodontics in San Juan Capistrano, they want to see you smile, and it starts from the first visit.
On my very first appointment, before I left, I knew exactly what I was getting, how much it was going to be. They were incredibly friendly, so it just made sense. It was completely at home here.
Dr. Olson does an excellent job of making his patients feel comfortable.
Well, I was just really enjoying coming here and seeing him. I loved to see Dr. Olson.
Call or visit Olson Orthodontics today. Mission Basilica School, located in historic San Juan Capistrano, is a blue ribbon school focused not only on quality education but spiritual enlightenment, creating a learning environment that's second to none.
I love the feel of the school and what it brings.
They're wonderful kids, have great family lives. They are brothers and sisters once they reach the campus.
A blue ribbon school for academic excellence, located on the beautiful grounds of Mission San Juan Capistrano. Hello everybody, welcome back to Coach's Corner. Some say they save the best for last. Well, that could be the case tonight on Coach's Corner. The quarterback of the team, Ricky Batista, joining us, and Ricky is out of Northwood High School. And Coach Mark McElroy, you're very fortunate to have Ricky. You played quarterback in high school, so you know what that position's all about. How did Ricky come your way? Did you go after him, or did he find you?
Oh, I recruited him hard. I pursued him hard. He can really throw the ball well. Very accurate passer, makes good decisions, and I talked with his head coach at the time, Rick Curtis, a lot about him, and so no, I recruited Ricky hard, and I'm real glad that he decided to come to Saddleback.
Yeah, and Ricky, I know that you probably had some great times under Coach Curtis, who's now at Santa Margarita, and your thoughts about playing high school at Northwood and the transition to Saddleback. Tell me about that.
Well, to one thing is the speed of the game changes fast. Like noticing when you come to the line and like the first play, like actual college level, and these guys are huge. You know, they're way bigger than I am. Just the speed is unlike nothing else. You have to, you know, you have to make your timing's got to be good. You got to be precise. And the game, obviously the levels, the people are bigger and whatnot, but it's basically the same thing when it comes down to it, because the offense that I came here with Coach Mack, is practically the same thing I ran at Northwood with Coach Curtis, only just a little twist here and there.
Wow, that's a big advantage to come to here to do that. When did you mentally start to really get into the game? You mentioned the speed. You ran the same type of offense, but when did you mentally go, I can do this?
Well, I gray shirted the first time I came here, and my head was spinning. We'd go in the meetings and all these play calls like red, yellow, green, black, snap, rag, all the routes were different. But I mean, I started to pick it up after a couple weeks, and then my freshman year, which was last year, I started to pick it up even more. And now this year, I know it like the back of my hand. It's like that, you know.
That's amazing. And Coach, I know that you have, you know, a commonality, so to speak, with the quarterback position. Do you spend a lot of time with Ricky, even though you're coaching the whole football team? Can you tell us about that relationship?
Yeah, I spend a lot of time with the quarterbacks and really enjoy hanging out with them. We competed on Thursday nights together. We're in meetings together. So I coach the quarterbacks, and it's not an easy position. You know, you go out there on the field, and if you have a bad day, it can really impact the team. If you have a great day, it can really impact the team. So, and they know that. And Ricky's done a terrific job. I mean, he's picked up our language and has learned it well, and I'm real proud of him.
Yeah, and I know, Ricky, that this position is very demanding. What is it that you like about it?
Being in control of the football. That's the one thing. You know, I like to pass the ball, I like to run. You know, I try to make things happen when things aren't there. I like being kind of the commander, the coach on the field.
Right.
Is what the quarterback's supposed to do. Do
you get an opportunity to watch football at home on Sundays? I know you're busy Saturdays, but do you watch the NFL game or a Thursday night game maybe after you get home from practice?
Yeah, I sit down on Sundays, don't do anything, just watch football all day.
When you hear commentators talking about the quarterback, oh, that's a smart decision. Oh, he pulled up there. Oh, he threw the ball out of bounds. Do you kind of put yourself in that position too? Like, I would have done that.
Yeah, I like, before the play even starts, I kind of look at the defense and like see like what are they going to run, or just kind of look around.
Even though you say that right now that it comes to you naturally, the play calling and everything, what is the hardest part now? Is it this competitive league that you're in? Is it thinking about next year where you want to be?
The hardest thing now is, I mean, teams throughout the season, they start to pick up what you're doing throughout film they watch, and they get to see like all the plays you run. And what we do is the only thing we can do is crisp up our plays and make them better, and see where they're not, where the defensive guys are, find holes and just little nicks there in the defense.
Right. Coach, I know that being a head coach is kind of like being a manager. You got to make critical decisions, and even though you want these dreams to come true for these kids, do you ever have to say, hey, you know what, you're going to be on the team, but you're not going to be that starter which you thought you were? Can you tell me about that? I mean, we've all watched the Hard Knocks of the HBOs, and you see these guys, it's a reality check. They get cut, and it's a business. It's not a business here. It's part of life in the sense of transition. How difficult is that? Do you do that type of thing?
Well, as a coach, that's always one of the toughest things you have to deal with, because you really can't play everybody, and you have to make a decision when you've got 6 quarterbacks or 4 quarterbacks on who's going to be the starter, because you can't put them all out in the field.
Right.
That's one of the tough things about coaching that's really difficult for me, because I like pretty much all of my players. Right. And having to pick one over another based on performance and the ability to help your team be more successful is what a good coach does. He has to pick that based on that information, not on how much you like a player or if you're related to him or anything else. It's a difficult part of the job.
Yeah. And Ricky, as coach said, you might have 6 guys behind you, 5 guys behind you. What does that feel like for you? How proud are you to be the starter?
I just know I earned it if he names it to me, and he named it to me this year. But I mean, I worked hard, just competing, just staying focused. Guys in the locker room talk here and there and say who they want, and I just kind of let that thing go by me,
Yeah, I asked Kyle this, Kyle Kelly, your defensive end, this question: if he goes back to Woodbridge, what would he say to his players? And if Coach Curtis was still there, or if you went up to Santa Margarita to talk to those guys, what would you say if he gave you 10 minutes to tell these guys something?
I would say,
I mean, their team, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would tell the guys, I would look at them and say, just, like, respect these days. Wait, these days, they go by really fast. There's nothing like high school football. Right. Just honor them. The days, they fly by, because remember, it just went by like that. Senior year, gone.
Amazing.
And then, yeah, new life ahead of you. On your own.
Well, you've done some great things, and I congratulate you on your career, of course, in high school and here at Saddleback. I know you've got some more games to come, and we'll watch you and what you do in the next couple months and where you'll be playing football next fall. All right? Congratulations to you. And Mark, I don't know how many times we've done this show. We've done it quite a bit together, and it's always fun. I didn't throw any questions off the shelf this year, did I?
Well, you were good.
I stayed on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, you were good.
Coach gave you the pep talk, right? Well, thanks again, Mark. You did a great job. And again, thanks to all of our players. And of course, Kyle Kelly, Blake Bernard, and Ricky Batista, the quarterback of the football team. Again, come out and support Saddleback College football. This is the best game in town. I guarantee you, this is the best football being played in all of Orange County and for the most part, a lot of Southern California. For Coach's Corner, for Saddleback College, I'm Paul Higgins. Go Gauchos. We'll see you next time.